the Cowboys made quite a few moves over the past week and a half, as the Cowboys signed cornerback Kerryon Brown, formerly of the New York Jets. Hadn't played a lot, but the Cowboys, since that went to their advantage, since Kerryon Brown did not play a lot, in fact didn't play much at all, the Cowboys, once they signed him, got his rights. So there's no ill will to this. This is like they traded for him, and yet they still got the rights for it. Very cheaply. So it was a good move by the Cowboys on their front. The Bengals extend Sam Huber 4-year contract worth $40 million. Now in this part of the video, we'll be explaining a lot of general managers or owners who control a lot of the money that some of these teams will sign players or release players or trying to get new contracts for players or not. Malik Hooker had visited the Cowboys for the second time. This happened after he visited Miami, he visited Dallas early in the offseason, and he visited the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it just didn't happen. It didn't happen because in Pittsburgh, they had to postpone one meeting. He went to the second meeting, they weren't interested. Miami, they weren't interested. But when he went to see Dallas the first time, the Cowboys brought him in and Devonte Adams. Both had Achilles tendon injuries. And according to the medical, KZ was further along and actually almost completely healthy, and would be completely healthy if when training camp really started, where Malik Hooker was not in a great position. So they did not sign Hooker, they signed KZ. Well, now that Cowboys brought in Hooker, they ended up signing him to a 1-year contract, putting him in a great position where there will be 3 safeties, at least in a position where you see where there's 2 ball-hawking safeties and a hard-hitting safety in Donovan Wilson. So it's more of a wait and see what happens. How will they play them all? We'll just have to wait and see. And plus, also find a way to play Keanu Neal. As we talked about that the Vikings signed Westbrook, they had him last week for a workout. And it went well enough so they signed him. So it was a good move, I feel like, on the Vikings' part and on Mike Zimmer's part to bring in Westbrook, a guy with a lot of speed and good height. He's going to help out Kirk Cousins or whoever's behind center. And he's a good blocking wide receiver, so he's going to help out Dalvin Cook. The Seahawks are willing to make Jamal Adams the highest paid safety in the NFL, just not willing to make him the highest paid player in the NFL. Now, when we heard this news, we were like, okay, he's not willing to come back here unless he becomes the highest paid safety, in which the Seahawks are willing to have him do. Michael Thomas, some sad news, Saints receiver Michael Thomas is expected to at least miss 1 month of the regular season with that ankle injury that he suffered last year. This is a sad moment, really, for all Saints fans and all NFL fans, because Michael Thomas is a great wide receiver. 2 years ago, he got the NFL reception record as he passed Marvin Harrison. So, it's very sad, but these injuries do happen, and ankle injuries do linger more than a lot of other injuries. It just happens that way. Devonte Adams' camp no longer active in negotiations for a long-term extension with the Green Bay Packers. This happened because of all the Aaron Rodgers stuff that came about, which now has been taken care of, as they signed a gentleman's agreement, which we'll get to later. The Dolphins signed ex-Seahawks linebacker Shakeem Griffin who is the brother of Shaquille Griffin, as they both played for the Seattle Seahawks. And an interesting story about Shaquem Griffin is, when he was born, his arm wasn't fully developed. In fact, he had little fingers that were just stuck in his hand. In fact, they hurt him so much that they had to amputate the little fingers. And that's hard for a little kid to have to deal with. But him and his brother were able to accomplish their dream and play in the NFL together. That was an unbelievable dream to have, and very few brothers get to play together. I mean, we saw a few years ago when the McCourty brothers, Jason and Devin McCourty, played. It was a tremendous look, and when they won a Super Bowl, that never happened before. But now, Shaquem Griffin is now going to play in Miami. But what do you guys think? How do you think about the Malik? What do you think about the Malik Hooker signing? And also, what do you think about the Devonte Adams situation?